Mr. Lemaire's topic is the Lean Six Sigma approach to enhancing employee performance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, most of my presentation will be based on a little bit of theory and a lot more of practice of what I've gone through, what I've done in the few years in the mining industry. If you have a glass half full of water, all right? The optimist will say the glass is half full. The pessimist will say the glass is half empty, isn't it? The lean thinker will say, why is this glass twice as big as it should be? That is the lean thinker. So we talk a little bit about Lean Six Sigma. The Six Sigma is a set of powerful tools and techniques to optimize business process, okay? To increase performance, increase productivity, increase effectiveness. It is also a framework that provides rigor to move from strategy to execution. And it's got clear framework, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't have to jump from 1 to 3. You've got to follow the rigor. And it's a way of thinking and behaving, okay? Specifically, mindsets, behaviors are the foundation of the culture. And it's a part of every employee's role in a business. But it's also a primary function of leaders. I mean, if you're a leader, you are leading you are driving everything. So it's your primary function. It's very important to note here that when people talk about Lean Six Sigma, when companies try to roll out Lean Six Sigma, they only focus on the first two parts. That is a set of tools and techniques. If I want to talk about that, I need 2 weeks to do that. Anyway, I won't go into that. And the framework. They forget about the way of thinking. They forget about this part, which is a part of every employee's role in the company. All right? And therefore, what they end up with is they introduce Lean Sigma with very high expectation, and then they end up with half the results. Or they get frustrated along the line because they didn't get to where they want to go with the Lean Six Sigma. So this is the part that is often missed, and this is really the foundation that you need to have to be able to introduce Lean Six Sigma in your operation. When we talk about Lean, we are talking about eliminating waste. Again, I'm not going to detail what these wastes are, but just to mention that we have 7+1 types of waste. The reason why we have 7+1, I didn't say 8, is the fact that for a long while, for a long period, we thought that we had only 7 waste. And that is where most of the Lean books will tell you. If you go on the net and you find some books, some of them will tell you there are 8, some of them will tell you there are 7. Transport waste, inventory, excess inventory, is money locked up in the system. Motion going up and down, when you can have everything around you to do your work. Waiting, you waited, you lost time, you lost money. Over-processing, it doesn't give you money, but you spend money over-processing it and the customer won't pay for that. Overproduction and defects, okay? Now the one, again, is the focus of this presentation, which is the employee non-involvement. If you remember the previous slide, I said that the part that most employees, most companies miss is the part that has to do with employees. The mindset, the behavior, the part that the employees have to do. Okay? Most companies will pick a few people, about 10 people, like I was picked, trained as a Six Sigma practitioner. You lead projects, you deliver value, but then it's not sustainable if you don't do the basics right. So this is the 8 ways, which is employee non-involvement in the process. I want to show you another research that was done in the developed country. After that, I will answer your question. They went to, a research group went to a lot of companies, mining companies, manufacturing companies, car companies, others. And they asked everybody they met on site, what are the problems of the company? Okay. They did that research, and this, what you see here, is a collation of the results. The research concluded that the chief executives at the top of the business knew only 4% of the problems of the business, knew only 4% of the problems of the company. The managers knew 9%. The subtenants, the crew leaders who were closer to employees knew 74%. Of course, the employees knew everything. Okay? The employees knew everything also because the employees are many. This person knows this person knows that, this person knows that. So cutting across, they knew everything. Now, you have this result for most of the chief executives who came across this research. First, they denied it wasn't true, but knowing that it came from a reputable research company, they said, wow, is that what is happening? Wow. What do you think? This was a research in a developed country. I don't know about Ghana, whether it's the same or not. Somebody is telling me it's the same. This article was written in the Financial Times of Ghana last year, talking about the same research, okay? Advising companies, to take note of what the employees know and what the employees can do, what the employees can add to the business, employees who are often ignored when it comes to decision making, stuff like that. So yes, this research result applies to our part of the world. Okay. So I'm going to take you through a project which I was involved in Australia. Actually, that was where I got a job. Okay, when they started this project, they needed people to train as Six Sigma to drive the project. So I was one of the few people who were trained. The two stars you see here are two companies producing bauxite. Okay? I've marked the numbers because talking about some of this industry. This is the operating cost of bauxite, and this is the cumulative bauxite production by percentage. Meaning that every bauxite company in the world can find itself somewhere here on the line. Okay? So the lowest cost producer is here, and the highest cost producer is here. Alright? I've divided this graph into 4 to say first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant for the ease of description. This is the average bauxite price. So this company here obviously is struggling to make profit because I've not added the taxes, the royalties, the other things which makes it the all-in sustaining. So have a very chance of making profit. This is the company I work for in Australia, and you can see that obviously they were making a lot of money. Okay, but that is not the point of my story. This company said that they are not comfortable where they are. Okay, and this work was done right after the GFC. So they said that if there's another GFC, bauxite price can drop below here, and therefore that company will be in trouble. So they've got to move from here to here to make yourself sustainable, to make yourself safe, to make yourself be able to absorb any shocks that come from the market. So they embarked on the Lean Six Sigma journey. Okay, next slide. So we are here, we want to cross the bridge to the other side of the bridge. That is from your current position to your future position, which is this side of the bridge. We started with Lean, it took us that far, not to where we want to go. And then we added, next slide, we added Six Sigma. That's why we have the Lean Six Sigma. Okay? Again, it got us that far, we were struggling. It was very slow. Progress was very slow. Okay? And my experience as a practitioner, because they've trained a few people, when we go out there with a project, and we are even able to identify what needs to be done to improve the business, to improve the process, to make money, you are lucky to have a few people to have conversation with you. And you are lucky to have a few people to agree to what you are telling them. Okay, for the sake of courtesy, fine. They'll do it. But the moment you move out and you go away, okay, he's come, he's talked, he's gone. He has his KPI, I have my KPI. What do you have to work for his KPI? Of course, as a practitioner, you've got to make minimum $1 million value to the business every year. Okay? So, if you are running a project, you really have to work hard at it. Mark. So, we saw that all of us who were trained in management, we saw that there was something missing. What did we find missing? We found out that the workers were not engaged. The workers were not included in the project. Okay, when I mean the workers, well, I was also a worker, but I mean everybody, including the laborer. Because, mind you, when I have a project and I go out there, for example, my first project was improving the cycle time of haulage trucks. I sit in the cab, have a chat with the operators, the driver, for a number of years, for a number of days. You see that the ideas that come from these people are often more valuable than what I had prepared for the project. Okay? So after going through 2 projects, I asked myself, why do I have to worry myself to stay in the night and do research and go into the internet and whatever, when I can get the answers from the guys? So actually, I stopped doing that. Okay? Go out there and you'll be amazed the kind of knowledge, the kind of information that those guys have, which we ignore. Most of the time as managers, we ignore because we think we have got our PhDs, we have got down our universities, we are the mine managers, so we know it all. The research says we know only 4%. Okay? So we added the change in mindset and behavior of the employees. And bingo. Bingo, we were there. Last year when I was leaving, they had got to where they want to be, Q1. Okay? And they haven't ended there. If you have been able to move from here to here, that is reducing cost of operation. Not talking about the market. And for the market, we have no control over, apart from probably a little bit of marketing. We have some 5–10% on top of that. Otherwise, you have control. If you have been able to move from here to here, then you can move from here to here. Okay? So the drive is on, the project is on. Once you've got the momentum, it's on. Okay? Now, why am I presenting this year? Why am I talking about bauxite? Well, there's a bauxite mining company in Ghana. But 95% of our revenue is coming from gold. I was told more than 95%. I tried to get a similar graph for gold. I didn't get one for gold companies in Ghana. Okay? This is one I found, gold mining companies in South Africa. It's about the same graph I presented about bauxite. To know where you are on the cost curve, this is the all-in sustaining cost of gold, and this is community production percentage. So if you are here and average price of gold is here, definitely, I mean, you're in the red, you are not making money, you definitely have to fold up. Okay? Here, like I said, if Trump should cough tomorrow, anything can happen. Okay? These guys are safe. My question is, where are our gold mining companies on the cost curve in the world? I know that one of the mining companies in Ghana is among the top 10 least cost producers in the world. One of them, I think Achim, is among the top 10 least cost producers in the world. So, like again, I said, if Trump should call for it, I know Achin will be safe. I don't know a lot more about the others. But the point is, even wherever you are, if you are making money, there is still opportunity to make a lot more money. There is still opportunity to make yourself more sustainable so that tomorrow you will not come and ask for reduction in employee numbers because you're in trouble. Ghana, we need everybody employed. So my recommendation is that let's adopt this. This is a case study. Okay, somebody who was already making money went through to make himself more profitable. We can do the same in Ghana. This is a traditional leadership model that we know, very common. Okay, I know 80% of companies in the world practice this kind of model, where the manager is at the top, giving direction. They have done their planning, they have done their analysis, everything, and they issue out the instructions. Do this way, do it that way, do it tomorrow, do it tomorrow next, do it that. So there's very little of employee involvement in what is decided, what is done. The employee go to work, clock in, and has to do his 8 hours or 12 hours, whatever it is. That's it. He goes home. You know that is very common, isn't it? I came for my mark. That is a very typical thing that we have in the industry. And when something goes wrong, we blame the people down there that they didn't do what I told them to do. Okay. So I want to present to you also a different model, which is the lean leadership model. The lean leadership model basically has turned the triangle upside down. It doesn't mean that the workers are the boss or the manager is the laborer. No. The manager has moved from the role of deciding and directing to the role of supporting. To the role of supporting everybody. Okay? Are there HR people here? When we want to engage somebody in the industry, we do advertisements, we do a lot of interviews, try to get the best people for the position. What happens when you have employed a person? You give them an instruction what to do, day by day. You don't give people the chance to come up with new ideas, to express their opinion. We tell them what to do. So the status quo, it continues. The culture continues like that. This model, basically, what it's doing is that the employees are allowed to present their views. The employees are engaged, they are empowered, they are allowed to question. When something is going wrong, you don't understand, they are allowed to question, they are allowed to contribute. And most often the guys out there know what they have to do anyway. Okay? All we have to do as managers is to support them to be able to perform. And when the guys know what they are doing is what they have recommended, they don't need supervision, isn't it? When they know that they had an input in deciding the work plan, how the job is to be executed, they don't need supervision. But on the other way around, you've got to supervise them every minute. Otherwise, the performance will not be there. Okay? So, we think that this is a leadership model that we would like people to consider, companies to consider, to empower employees to be able to get employees to work to their maximum capability to ensure the sustainability of the industry. All that is required is a change in mindset. First of all, of the leaders. Okay, they shouldn't be scared to give the employees the empowerment to be able to do what they want to do, what they do every day. I mean, if you take a truck driver, all right, and you want to take a decision on the kind of a type of equipment you want to buy for the company, how many managers talk to the truck drivers? We don't. I've been a manager before. I didn't. I wasn't doing that. Okay? Yet he brings the most very expensive trucks, and that same guy is going to drive it. Versus if this guy had a small input as to what kind of trucks that would be suitable for the operation, you buy the truck, and that employee would treat the truck like his baby, more or less. Okay? So changing mindset from the managers, and then of course the employees, to know that we are in together. It is not us versus them, it is us. So that every employee every day at the workplace will be able to find and act on opportunities to improve their business. Not waiting to be told always. Okay? Every employee is engaged every day in a very small way that he can do to bring improvement in the business. Sometimes the ideas can bring large changes in the business. Of course, if they know that they can bring ideas that will bring small change, of course, large change ideas are also welcome. And make continuous improvement a habit in the workplace. If yesterday, whatever we did yesterday, what you achieved yesterday is not good enough for tomorrow. Do you know that? Because tomorrow you are alive and it's an opportunity to do better than yesterday. And if you have this mentality, mindset in every employee of your business, you'll be able to compete with any business all over the world. You don't need problem integration. So, to conclude my talk, the basis of Lean Six Sigma, okay, which is very important and companies ignore, is get employees involved. And what you really want to do is to build a workforce that is engaged and committed to the sources of the business. Not a workforce that is only interested in his paycheck. Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, I want to know who takes up the blame when there's something goes wrong with the Lean Sigma concept.
The leader drives culture. The leader takes the blame. Alright, the leader takes the blame. So, yeah, that's it. So you are scared to try it because somebody will decide. It's not like, I'm not saying that let employees decide what to do, how to do it. Let employees have an input in generating that decision. Ultimately, there are a lot of employees in the business. Okay, they will come up with different ideas. Ultimately, the leader has to synthesize all those ideas and come up with one. But employees know that they will take part in coming up with that idea. Maybe you pick 1% from here, 2% from there, 50% from there, to synthesize it to become what what you're going to do. Okay, so the leader still has an input, and that is the support that I'm talking about. If you are supporting everybody, then you take the responsibility. We've tried it, it went fantastic. And we are not the only company who tried it anyway. It's something that is being used in most of the big companies and companies outside. Okay, and it's working perfectly.
Let's give it up to him. Thank you very much, Mr. Lemaire. Thanks so much. Mr. Chairman.
Discussion with us here as members of such a professional association should take a lot of interest in it. That is where the world is driving to. There are a lot of things that you can do that can bring your costs down easily. You mentioned the concept of engagement. I've been involved in it, with it called engagement, and I know what it is. In our case, we involved the workers. When we set a maintenance plan, we do it monthly, and a week or two to the implementation. We present it to the maintenance guys on the ground. And the sort of input that we had, we realized that that was the best thing to do. Because at times the planners have some factors which had changed, which they were not aware of. And they still went on with their plan. But when we gave it to the operators and the maintenance guys to look at it, Who did this plan? Is he crazy? So with their input, we had a plan that actually worked. So I think that these are concepts that are very important that we should take interest in.